Welcome back, YouTube. We're getting a push day, mostly chest, just kind of warming up with this slight cable decline, get the anterior delt kind of feeling good, feeling stretched out, getting the pecs warmed up. So just kind of really focus on getting some stability in that shoulder labrum before we start loading into some heavier weights with the Arsenal press and things like that today. So a lot of chest work, good amount of shoulder work, mostly just lateral raises, and then we'll finish with some triceps. And yeah, check-in day tomorrow. So got to get a good chest pump. Surprised myself just a little bit on that last set. Was able to get more than 15 with that weight, so feeling pretty good today. We'll go up in weight, see if we can get closer to kind of that 12 to 15 range without being able to do more than 15. Stay in that sweet spot. Yeah, that was good. Just got to get this seat to stop moving. We'll get one more set here, keep it at that weight, and see if we can just match. That's never been my experience. My in-body and my decks are always so different. Well, I had to cancel because my client had to reschedule. So I'm gonna try and do it tomorrow. Okay. And that way I can try and do it fasted to get like the best comparison to the last one that I did. Whew. We'll hit some flies here now, and then we'll go to the Arsenal press. The pressing weight will probably be down a little bit today, just because we're doing all this prior. But stimulus is feeling good, so that's all that matters. Bro, I'm gonna be like, I have a feeling I'm gonna be at like a flat 200 tomorrow. I'm gonna go lower though. So delicate. We did our second of only like 3 episodes of Barbells and Barbecue. We're gonna have to bring that back after the show. Whew. Okay, we're gonna get a little feeler set here. See if we're in kind of the 8 to 12 rep range. Might be a little higher, might be a little lower. We'll see. That's pretty good. We'll keep it there. So the big thing is just making sure our scapulas are actually opening and kind of rounding over whenever we get into that full press position, and then allowing our chest to really open from the sternum on the way in that bottom shortened position. So we're thinking about just really opening up the chest, opening up the rib cage, and then closing the chest, closing the rib cage, which is going to allow, or at least require, a little bit of that scapular reach. So let's get it. Yeah, so the idea really, nip slip, the idea really is trying to pinch the shoulder blades into the seat, open up the chest, and then push into like a more rounded flat back through the rhomboids into the bench in that closed or finished position. Character counts. Character counts even when your trainer doesn't.
I try. I do try and count. But then like I see a squirrel. When I be trying to count their sets, and then I see a squirrel or something, it's over. I get distracted. We could be on 7. No, we could be on 17.
Yeah, so really biasing lengthened range here. We've got the cam position on 5, and then we got the foam roller set up. So we're just really getting a super deep stretch in that bottom position. And chest is just feeling really good. So the whole time what we're really thinking about is the chest pulling apart in that eccentric phase, and then we're trying to initiate by squeezing the pecs together. So I'm kind of driving my hands in on those handles, squeezing, creating tension when we're getting kind of that turnaround position. It's a little difficult. 20 grams. 20 grams of creatine. That's wild. We're gonna move on to some seated push downs, dips, and then we'll get in some lateral raises, triceps, and be done. Feeling good. So one thing we've been kind of playing with the dips is really trying to just emphasize kind of a hybrid position. So making sure we're getting a lot of shoulders, a lot of chest, and a lot of triceps all at once, not trying to really isolate too much. So all we're really doing there is we're staying really upright. And then in terms of path of the arm, path of the shoulder, we're trying to keep the shoulder down and not come forward, right? Not internally rotate too much. And then just allow this tricep to do a lot of that top end work where the elbow's traveling back. We get a little bit more stretch in that pec, activation in that front delt, and then we're finishing obviously with that tricep kind of returning back to baseline. So kind of just think about it in terms of not leaning forward too much, keeping good posture, and then not letting your shoulders come up or forward too much. And then just letting the elbow move back and forward. Are there Jewish bears? Then explain the Berenstein Bears. Okay, that was a really good movie too, though. Another way to use this machine that we've been kind of playing with to get some more coastal pec, more serratus activation. Me specifically, I've been using this to kind of get more serratus pull. So whenever I'm doing my lat spreads and everything, I can use that serratus to really reach forward and get those lats to open up some. So we're gonna move everything kind of out of the way and then just go standing kind of position here and just focus on pressing through and really reaching through that position at the bottom and really rounding the rhomboids in that bottom position. Really reach through the armpits. Just a little something extra. Obviously, you can replicate that kind of position with cables, but for time efficiency, it's a great way to kind of get a lot out of this machine. And then of course, if you want to go triceps, you can kind of just turn around and face out. So just know that you can get really creative with some machines and modify them to fit where you need to load the most. Been a lot of talk lately about the best way to do lateral raises, and more I've played with it, more and more the people that I follow and trust for this kind of information have kind of just been heavily advocating for behind the back cable variations. So we're gonna run with that for a while, just try to keep that consistently in the program and just see how our shoulders react.
But it's like, it's kind of like a, it's maybe like a condo, but it's not like a house. And not that that matters, like, who cares? But it's just crazy. I'll see if I can do it.
Okay, so we're gonna do kind of what we did with rear delts the other day. So it's gonna be really heavy to start, not even like full range, just really try to overload the lengthened phase, and then we'll go lighter, more range till failure, and then lighter, as much range as possible until failure. So kind of just like a progressive drop set. When you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because when you're not really optimizing for super heavy loads in those Lincoln ranges, you're so much stronger for just a partial range of motion. So being able to kind of just go appropriate weight for this half range of motion, then decrease the weight, go more range of motion, you know, but it's appropriate for each kind of phase. So lengthened, middle, shortened range, and then just changing the weight to kind of match that. Big drops. Big drops. Oh. Yeah, I don't really have a name for this just yet, but essentially all we're doing is optimizing the load for the range of motion, right? Because if I'm gonna go full range on this, realistically, I'm somewhere in between like 140 to 160 pounds for like a set of 12. But that's only still failing where I'm the very weakest. So I'm trying to fail in that bottom range first, fail in that medium range when I change the weight, and then choose a weight that I would fail in more just that top range. So again, it's kind of an adaptive resistance concept, like our ARX machines, but being able to do it, you know, the ARX allows you to do it throughout the whole rep, because the weight changes for every single joint angle, as opposed to this, right? The weight's not gonna change, it's gonna stay fixed. So we just have to modulate by range of motion first. Hope that makes sense. And honestly, what we're just doing is we're dropping the weight basically by like half every single set. Ooh. pump is sick. Okay, so all we're doing there is a bit of a mechanical drop set. So we're starting off far away, more like a tricep kickback. And then as we're getting more fatigued, we're getting closer and closer, where it's a little bit more downward level of force. So trying to get that tricep to really pop, get a little bit of that long head extension in the starting position, and then just going more short head as we get closer to more vertical straight press downs. We'll get one more set there, and then we'll just get some straight press downs to finish up. Yeah, so not really a whole lot of shortened bias there. Well, actually, no, the opposite. A lot of shortened bias, not a whole lot of lengthened bias, so we're not getting like a huge stretch. That's where we're gonna go more kind of like a standing skull crusher with the tricep extension. Just gonna go straight bar and try to just maximize elbow flexion from the starting position. So we're having to really lengthen that tricep as much as we can. Okay, that is a wrap for today. Solid chest day, solid push day overall, mostly chest, a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of triceps to finish there. So I think we typically will do about 4 chest movements, 2 shoulder movements, 2 tricep movements, and then call it a day there. So feeling really good despite the low calories, feeling pretty full, not too flat. And yeah, pumps are feeling still pretty solid. Strength is at least maintaining for now. In some areas, it's definitely going up still. So all just kind of things that we're monitoring as we're getting further and further in the prep. So I want to try and maintain strength as much as we can, just as a gauge of retaining muscle. So yeah, let's take the shirt off, see how things look before we full back up with some fuel. Let's see here. bad, not bad at all. Yep. All them veins popping. And then we gotta throw this in because we've been working on it so much. Get those lats open. But yeah, overall feeling really good. So we're gonna go get our post-workout creamy with our raw nutrition whey and little Flavor Gang bowl of oats, bowl of gains. Yeah, discount code BOALEX on both of those. So fuel up and yeah, sweet little treat even on the cut. So losing weight pretty consistently. We'll probably be around I'm gonna say 201 tomorrow. That's gonna be my guess. So we'll check back in after the check-in, get a little pull day tomorrow, some posing practice, and then legs on Friday, push again on Saturday, and then rest and recover all day Sunday. So again, that's a wrap for today. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, love, hate, do all that stuff. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just general spam, throw it in the comments and we will see you on the next one. Bo Alexander, Adapt Fitness. Bye.